In this video, I wanted to talk about the Roughwear Polar Trek dog boots. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we've tried a number of different boots and these have been the best. They stay on the best, they stay on the longest. So to give you an example, we've used this many times when we've been out riding, and just the other day we went out riding. Ruger wore these because he seems to rip his pads the easiest. So we put these boots on him and we went for about 10 kilometers and all but one boot stayed on. Now, the reason that the one boot came off is because he ended up going into a full tilt sprint, which then the boot came off. So it'll come off more easily if the dogs are sprinting as fast as they can. But if they're just going at a normal pace, even a normal running pace, these boots are staying on great. We were on a trail that was kind of gravel, rock, turned into dirt. There was a few river crossings, few areas of mud, and all through that, the boots stayed on. So that's to kind of give you an idea. And we've done trips like that quite a few times, and not just with Ruger wearing the boots, but with Kona wearing the boots, with Callie wearing the boots. Lute is the only one who hasn't had a chance to have boots on yet. But for all my other dogs, these boots are the ones that have stayed on. Now, luckily, when we've lost a boot, we've been able to backtrack and pinpoint where we lost them and then end up actually finding them again, which is great. It would be more ideal if these were brighter colors, so it would be easier to see and it would stand out more so that we could find them better, but we've done a great job so far. So I just wanted to kind of talk about how I use these. So I do use the socks. I don't think that they're necessary. I like using them. I find that once you have the sock on, it makes slipping the boot on a lot easier. I know that some people have issues with their dog's dewclaws, and a lot of boots end up like rubbing the dewclaw area raw, so the sock can provide a barrier so it will prevent like chafing. But for me, I haven't had that chafing issue, but I've always used the socks just more for convenience of putting the boots on. I like these Roughwear boots the best because I do like this extra top fabric piece, because here you fold it down and here's the boot. So there's Velcro, and you would slide the boot on and then cinch it quite snug and wrap around. The thing that I like about this fabric piece that comes over top is that it'll protect the Velcro area. So then you just zip it up. And I like that it protects that Velcro area, because when a lot of like dirt or when it gets wet, it makes it easier for this to then undo, and then you end up spending a lot of time then having to adjust boots. I do think that's why a lot of boots end up falling off the dogs, is just not being tight enough and not staying secured. So I do like that this fabric essentially can protect that. So that's something that I like. For all of my dogs, they wear a different size for the front feet versus the back feet. So how it's worked out, and I think it'd probably be pretty standard with most dogs, is the front feet are a bigger size, and then the back feet for my dogs have always been a size smaller. I'm sure that there's dogs out there that might wear the same size for all 4 paws, or maybe 3 paws, however many paws your dog has. But that's just what it's been for my dogs, and it's worked well. So I just wanted to quickly talk about that and just let you guys know that these were great boots that worked out really well for us. I will add into this video videos of us out with the dogs and how the boots have stayed on. Like I said, the trip on the weekend, by the time I saw where we got to, it had been 10 kilometers and it was about an hour and a half of riding. So that's how long these boots stayed on. We've done other trips that have been longer, and same thing, the boots have stayed on. Only sometimes have we had a trip where then one boot has come off. So for example, on the weekend, Ruger's one back foot boot came off. There was another time we were out and Kona lost a back boot. My thought on the back boots coming off is just that the paw and the foot is a lot more narrow than the front. So it makes it a little bit harder for them to stay on. But when we're talking about dog boots, that's already something awkward to be on a dog's foot. So for this to stay on that well and for that long, and for the type of terrain that we're on, and that the dog isn't on, like, say, a leashed walk, for the dog to actually be off leash, hiking, even running, for it to stay on that well and for that long, I have to say that these are awesome. I have heard of, like, the sled dog boots. I've looked into those. I know that those are primarily for dogs who are sledding in the snow. They're not meant for non-snow activities. So for us, because we don't live in a climate where we get a lot of snow, that just isn't really doable for us. We have used these in the snow, and that was one instance where Kona ended up actually losing a boot in the snow, and it was deep snow, so I'm assuming it suctioned. She pulled her foot out, lost a boot, but we ended up finding it, so it was all good. So yeah, really like these Rough Wear Polar Treks boots. All right, so I wanted to just show putting the boots on really quickly here on Ruger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Ruger in between my legs, and that's a great spot for me to be able to just like bend over and put his boots on. So I'm gonna start with a sock. I'm gonna pick his paw up and put the sock on. Good boy. And then this is the bigger boot. I just have to wiggle it a bit and slide it on. And then I just make sure that his paws are right at the end there, and then I cinch it, fold the fabric up, and zip. So then I'll do it with the other side as well. And all the boots are on. Good work, bud.